Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with an overview of the Ford Racing sway bar kit for GT and EcoBoost Fastback Mustangs. In this video, we're going to be talking about how these sway bars function, their construction, and the install as well. The install for these is going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, but we'll go over that in more detail later. The Ford Racing sway bar kit is going to be a good option for anyone looking to improve handling performance, but that still wants to maintain a factory ride quality. These sway bars are going to tighten up the S550 chassis a good amount, but the difference between these sway bars and most others is that these keep stock style bushings, while a lot of others change bushing compounds. The bushings are going to have a small effect on the overall stiffness of the sway bars. These sway bars come with rubber bushings, which is going to allow the sway bars to provide handling improvements, but still keep a smooth, factory-like ride quality at the same time. That means the sway bars can tighten up the chassis and not give any increase in noise, vibration, and harshness, so I'm gonna say that these would be a perfect option for those concerned with keeping that type of ride quality. The only other thing I'll add here is that you should try to keep these bushings greased. But getting into the sway bar itself, its job is to counteract the compression and decompression that happens in the suspension when a car is cornering. The weight transfer of the car creates a twisting force that translates to the driver as a flatter handling experience. There are a few things that affect how much force a sway bar has or how effective it's gonna be. The thickness of the bar and its composition are going to play a big role in this, and these bars are solid steel bars. Being solid steel will make these very strong, but the downside is they're going to be a heavier bar than a tubular bar would be. The front bar has a 36.5mm diameter, while the rear is a 25mm diameter, which is an upgrade over the factory bars. Another factor that's going to affect how well a sway bar works is the geometry of the bar. Now the sway bar has bends and different angles, but the key is going to be the length of the lever arm. This is the lever arm right here. Both of these bars are two-way adjustable. You can see your adjustment points right here, and having these bars be two-way adjustable means that you can have a little bit of a longer lever arm. Depending on how you adjust the bar on install, you're changing the geometry of the bar. The shorter the lever arm is, the greater torque and more force the bar will have. And this is what you're adjusting when you're moving between the holes here on the sides, the amount of force and torque that will be applied to that outside control arm in order to decompress the outside suspension in a corner. The only other thing that I wanted to mention when it comes to the sway bars and how they'll perform is that it is recommended to pair these sway bars with a set of lowering springs and shocks and struts. The suspension travel and the compression and decompression of the suspension is going to affect the sway bar. The sway bar and springs and shocks and struts work together closely, which is why when you upgrade one, you should consider upgrading the others. When it comes to price, you're looking at spending close to $500 for this kit. You are getting bushings with this kit, and the price is close to the other options that are out there. You just have to take into account what exactly you're looking for from your sway bars as far as materials and bushings. The install for these sway bars is not difficult at all, and you're looking at spending about 2 hours to get it done and a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. You need a handful of different tools, but nothing crazy, and as usual, a lift would really help here, but the job can be done on jack stands if you don't have access to one. You might need to pop out your airbox to get to some of the bolts for the front sway bar, and the majority of the bolts can be removed through reaching down through the engine bay, except for the end link bolts, of course. Then you just have the removal of the old bar, which can get tricky, but it just takes a little time. The rear bar is a little bit easier to get to. You can get all the bolts out from below the car. Just remove the end links and the bolts in the brackets that hold the bar to the subframe. And then you sneak the bar out from below the car. The new bars install the same way the old bars came out, so no surprises there. You just need to figure out your adjustment points and how you want the car set up. Wrapping things up here with the Ford Racing sway bar kit, these are solid steel, two-way adjustable sway bars with rubber bushings. The front bar has almost a 1.5-inch diameter, while the rear bar has a diameter close to 1 inch. You can check this kit out more online for yourself right here at AmericanMuscle.com.